People ask me if I trim my pumpkin or how do I trim my pumpkin. So I would do a demo showing you how to trim with the stem on the top. How do you do that? So anything that has a smaller opening or even no opening, it's very easy to tip over. So you need to have a chuck. Okay, this is called chuck. It's made out of clay. Some people bisque fire, some people don't. Usually I don't bisque fire it before it is completely dry, so that I keep my chuck at the dead hard stage. But once I haven't used for years, and then maybe it dried out, then I will run it through the bisque fire. So this has been bisque. And if you have a bisque chuck, for the clay easy to stick on it is you soak your chuck in the water, a bucket of water completely, maybe 15-20 minutes until it doesn't absorb water anymore, so that when you are using the clay is easy to stick on. This one is not soaking in water, so you see that this is the clay, and the clay is not stick, it just fall right off. But for trimming my pumpkin, it's just sit on it, so it doesn't matter. So I am not going to soak it in water. But if you want a clay, the anchor clay to be able to hold your chuck, soak it in water if your chuck is bisque. Okay. So first, let me just roughly center, right? And then I'm going to put 3 pieces of clay just on top of it. It's not going to stick, but just sit on top of it. It's fine, because I'm not going to do a very heavy trimming, so it is okay just having my pumpkin sit on it. And turn it upside down and just let it sit. That's all, okay? And then first you need to level it, okay? To be able to level your pumpkin, the easiest way is to use the bubble leveler, okay? This you could buy it easily from hardware store, or even just search online. You should be able to get it easily, okay? So this will have less effort for you to try to level it. If you don't have this, then what you need to do is just let it hold the needle to, and then just check. You see that the point that touches the needle is the higher point, so you have to push it down. Okay, push it down. The reason why I'm having the 3 pieces of clay is easy for me to squeeze it, so it's easy to level it. Okay, so that's why I put 3 pieces of clay there. So since I have this, so I will just place this right here in the center, and then find the bubble in the center. So, and I told you that the clay that is soft, so it's easy for me to squeeze it to find a level. Okay, so the bubble is in the center. Okay, so meaning this is level, but it's harder to find your center yet, because when you put in 3 pieces of clay there, so it's hard to find your center. But you need to level it first before you find your center. Okay, now you can find your center by if you don't know how to tap center, again the same thing. Use the needle tool to check it. And the spot that is touching the needle tool, you have to push to the direction of the center. Okay, so just the basic checking. Since I know how to tap center, so I'm just using my tap center method to do it. And it doesn't matter if the chuck is centered or not. All you want to do is find your clay in the center. That's all. Right? So that's the finding the center, finding the level for anything that you have small opening that is sitting on the chuck. All right, basically I'm just doing a very lightly trimming. Maybe just follow the curve here. There's a little bit clay here. I am just going to remove it. And I am not going to put any foot ring, so just a slightly concave, that's all. Right, so the whole curve followed through all the way from here to the bottom. So that's good. And then I'm just going to remove a bit clay here in the center. I'm making a little concave. You also see to me that not putting any clay here to hold the chuck. Actually, if your chuck is light or you are doing a heavy lifting, heavy trimming, maybe it's a good idea a better idea to put clay in here to hold the chuck down. But I'm just slightly trimming, so it's not a big deal. So I didn't put the chuck there. I didn't put the clay to hold the chuck. All right, and then I'm going to use a sponge to also kind of push it. So there's a little dent here, because when I trim, the little groove is loosened. So I'm going to put it back a bit. So just use the sponge. This piece of clay is a little bit dry, so I have to push it a little bit harder. If the clay is softer, it's easier for you to just put the little line there deeper. But this one is a little bit dry. And for the middle part, I'm going to put my stamp here, so stamp my signature. So I will add a little bit of water to soften a little bit. And later on, I will be able to stamp my signature a bit deeper. My clay is a bit hard, so maybe if you like, you can get something that is harder to push a little. Okay, so that's how I take care of the bottom, so the whole curve follow through. And then also people ask me what is my seal or stamp for the signature, what is the material. Okay, so here I have several stamps that so these are all my stamps: medium, small, and tiny one. Okay, so they are made out of the ox horn. I had the people in Taiwan made it for me, because in Taiwan people, instead of using signature as a proof, they are using the stamp or seal. So it's a very popular shops that it's almost everywhere. You can find it easily, and they are carving the stamp for people so that it serves as a signature. So these two are made out of ox horn, and they are coming square, but I have then carve a small one, and then I just grind it off, so it's a lot smaller. The smaller one is for putting on the very tiny foot that I have a little cup. I could use that to do that. And the medium is for my regular marble bowls. And I have a square one and a circle one. And then this one is made out of a stone. They are using the sandblaster method to do that. I have my own design, and then they do it for me. So that's the stamp. And I'm sure that people are making stamp for, if you have your own design, maybe 3D printer, or made out of metal, okay, laser cutted, okay, a lot of different methods. So you just search online, you should be able to find some shop or some people, they are doing that carving for you. So these are my stamps, okay, because people are curious about you know, what is that material. So in here I just let you know, okay. And also people ask me, what is this? It's just a shiny stone that you can find it in rock store or something, that people are selling precious stone. I just find a shiny one, and I'm using that to maybe burnish the foot. Usually after I finish trimming, I like to burnish the foot a little bit, so it's a lot smoother, and it doesn't scratch the table if you are going to serve the balls or mugs on the table. Okay. Of course, after fire you could take care of it too, but I don't like to feel rough before it goes to the kiln, so I use the shining rock to do that. And you can use the metal, even the back of my tool, I can use that too, okay, to burnish it. Okay, so that's. So I told you that I put a little bit of water to soften a little bit, and still feel like hard. Just the spot that I'm going to stamp on, because my bottom is a bit dry. It's been 4 days since you watched my pumpkin video. I haven't come into the studio, so I just covered. So it's like 4 or 5 days later, I'm trimming it. Okay, so instead of putting my signature, I just put the stamp for my little objects. For my larger major piece, I usually stamp and then sign my name and put the date. But for smaller one, I just leave it like that. Okay, so that's the finish trimming. Okay, and if you like, you can go back here and maybe remove a little bit of clay off. Okay, kind of clean up so it looks a little bit more like the real pumpkin. Okay, so but that's for the trimming anything. So you follow through all the way from the top to the bottom. Alright, hope this helped. See you next time.